From today's forum, there's one key thing that has stayed on people's minds, and that's the percentage of Ghanaian men that are not fertile, or shall I say that are infertile. And that's about 7.5 of our population. Doc, what would you say is the reason for this, or if there is a common factor for this cause?
Okay. Um, well, current research has shown that it is now 50-50 from the man or the woman when there is a problem of infertility in the family. Many years ago, it was thought that the burden was the woman's, but now we know that the men are responsible as well. Um, and I guess over the years, the uh, lifestyle modifications, um, infections, use of drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and all that tend to decrease the sperm count of the man. Um, and then in the past too, not much research was done. It's like the woman has to get pregnant to show that the couple were fine. So even if it was the man, the woman was blamed because she's not getting pregnant. And in the past, well, then the man may go for another woman if he has low sperm count and maybe his wife also had a little challenge. It compounds the problem. But when he goes for a younger woman who is very fertile, sometimes it compensates for his low sperm count, and then he gets pregnant, the woman pregnant, then it's as if his issue, he was right. But invariably, if that woman, the first woman, was able to remarry, you find that she gets pregnant. Yes. So the percentage of people who are infertile in Ghana is about 15% of the population. And of that 15%, half of those are men and half women. That's why you would say 7.5% of the population of Ghana would have issues due to male infertility. So you can work the numbers from that. Yeah.
So clearly there is a problem, but now with technology and innovation, there's a solution, or there are solutions. Can you tell us or walk us through some of these solutions that are readily available for couples trying to have babies?
Okay. To summarize what we said on the panel, basically you want to be able to help the woman to have eggs developing, and with the innovation of drugs that can get more than one egg to develop, because naturally only one egg develops a month. Now you can have 2, 3, 4 eggs developing per month. That immediately increases the chances for pregnancy in the woman. Um, uh, there are some drugs that can help improve the male count as well, and so that will also improve their chances. Where um, the biggest innovation was where the egg could never meet the sperm because of blockage in the tubes. And the tubal factor is very high in our part of the world, in Ghana, for instance, or many developing countries because of infection. Infection is the commonest thing that will block tubes, and is infection from the sexually transmitted diseases or use of herbs for douching, which are not sterile, um, and sometimes other adjacent infections like appendicitis. If the appendix is not managed early and it ruptures, the infection can spread to the tubes. Those are other things that can block tubes. Yeah. So for that one, unless you get the egg and the sperm to meet, you never get a pregnancy. And that was when the first IVF baby was made, because eggs were collected from the mother with blocked tubes and fertilized and put back in her womb. Yeah. Now that process of IVF is being used for many other uh, areas or many other indications rather other than blocked tube, because if the sperms were not very mobile and therefore could not go through the vagina to the womb into the tube to go and fertilize the egg. And you can bring the egg out and fertilize the outside. That improves that leads to pregnancy. If the sperms were fewer and didn't have the capacity to fertilize, and you did intracytoplasmic sperm injection, you have the opportunity to get them a baby. Now we also know that the older woman is also less likely to get pregnant, partly because the shell even gets harder, so the sperm has difficulty. That is one of those you would inject the sperm in, and that will also lead to increased chance of pregnancy. Basically, those are some of the innovative ways. So you can start from the milder one of just doing insemination into the womb, preparing sperm that is not so good to select the good ones and put those into the womb near the tube, and they will go and fertilize. So that's a simple, shorter to get done, and less expensive. And so that will work for many people in that category. After that is the IVF, where you bring the sperm out and then do the fertilization outside, or further still is the sperm injection into the egg itself. Yeah. So broadly, I'll say these are the three main areas. And what is so useful with the last one is that for men who do not have sperms at all, because their tube from the testis is blocked, so what they release is only fluid from the prostate and the seminal fluid. When you make that diagnosis and you can go into the testis to get sperms, you don't get them as many as a normal ejaculate will provide, but you can inject them into the eggs and it can fertilize them. So that is some of the innovative ways available now.
So with these innovative ways, the IVF, the IUI, how affordable is it for the average Ghanaian?
The IUI is pretty affordable. Overall, I would say between 4,000 to 5,000 cedis, you can buy the drugs that would be used to prepare the eggs and pay for the procedure of IUI, and get successful with the pregnancy. When you go to IVF, it becomes much more expensive. For IVF, you could be paying between 20 to 25,000 Ghana cedis. And when you go to intracytoplasmic sperm injection, which is actually getting one sperm injected into an egg, which demands more technology, that could even be going to 30,000 Ghana cedis at the moment. And not many people can afford that. That is why it is not reaching as many people as we would want it to be. But as I said during the panel, we are looking at ways of bringing down cost of the inputs so that the final cost of the procedure can be cheaper and more affordable.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hiadzi.